I'm Marshall, and I'm the old bloke in the shed. One of many, I would think. I've got a video coming up after this for you, and I hope you enjoy it. And I like to fix things that challenge me, which is just about everything in this place. This is the starter motor of the David Brown 996, some of you have seen in the earlier videos. I think I've fixed it 6 times now, and it is working, so I'm just going to bolt it back in a minute. One of the brushes was worn away so bad, it should come up to about here, but the other 3 were okay. Now, this is an old Fordson Major starter, and it uses the same brushes. It's more or less the same inside, apart from the armature is different. This bit's the same that holds the brushes and everything. So, and then there's springs go on here, and they push the brushes up and down. I've had a couple of them broken in this one. Should be one kicking about to show you. There's one kicking about somewhere. So there's just a little curly spring that holds. See, it sits in that pin there. You can see it, and then it pushes down on the brush to keep it against the commutator. I think's the word we use. Anyway, the brush that needed replaced was one of the insulated ones, like this one is. You can see that. I couldn't get that to come off. There's the magnet, there's 4 magnets. Couldn't get that to come off. So what I did is I cut the wires, bared them, cut them, and then I soldered the 2 wires off this brush onto the 2 wires coming off the magnet in there. And I used loom tape, or wiring loom tape, to try and... There it is. This is wiring loom tape. It's not plastic, it's cloth of some kind. It's not very sticky, but that's the proper stuff for wiring looms. And it worked, but it's been blowing fuses for a wee while now. So I found a wire inside. I had this in bits today, the solenoid. I found a wire inside here that was against the body, which I don't think should have been. So to get this apart, you have to unsolder the 2 terminals and get the 2 screws out. So there's two copper terminals stick out here. Well, one of them, the threads was all stripped. Here it is. The thread was all stripped, if you see there. So I made 2 new metal terminals. Actually I made 3. The reason I made 3 is because I made that end too small. It should be 4mm. I think they're 3, but I made them 4 anyway. So much less chance of the threads getting stripped now. M8. I'll put some copper slip on there, stop them rusting. I was just shorting it across there to there to make sure it worked. So I just put some nuts on so it didn't do the thread. So I just machined that in the lathe and cut that with a die, M8 1.25. And I just had to flatten one corner there. They're not quite matched them, but they're working. So I'm going away to clean in behind the starter motor. Got this for my Christmas, so we're going to give it a go. So we're on the what are we on, 27th, something like that, 27th of December 2024. I've just been doing a a short time down here because of the shorter nights and cold mornings, and I haven't been keeping too well again, so I spent quite a bit of Boxing Day in my bed. So anyway, I'll just do what I do when I can. So like I say, I'll go and clean behind the starter motor, and then we'll fit the starter motor, and then I'll bring it back and we'll see if it works off the key. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, let's see if we can get this moving around the start. It is about -2. It will need laughing gas. Good to go. See what happens. Really cold start. I am trying out some tools I got for Christmas. This is my new Sterret, whatever you want to call it, edge finder. It's a bit more accurate than the old one. So I want to put a hole, an 8mm hole, for that bolt to go through that rod. That's another thing I got for Christmas, and I also got a new set of centre drills. It was a pack. Well, one of these Amazon offers we get both, so let's find centre. It popped out a lot quicker than the old one. There. That again. The base is trammed into 1,000. Sort of like. $10mm. Put the arrow at 5 will be in the centre. This one 5. There we go. Right, that's a 10mm collet I've got in there, so if I put in a 10mm starter drill, it should go in it. Careful with this. This edge finder's got a centre edge finder as well on this end. That's why I didn't want to pull it through there. What I'm making is a tidier support for the David Brown alternator. I had the one on the side. So this is going to come off a bolt. Looks pretty. Just trying to figure out how far up I want it. leave enough room for the bolt. Hang on, we could count it, couldn't we? Touch it there. It's going to be at least 4 mil. Money about. Leave 2, 10, maybe 10 would leave a couple of mil, a bit more. 12, that would leave 8. There we go. That's 12 mil up from the bottom. There's your points. Right, I just find an 8 mil drill now. Right, I've got an R8 collet in. Slow this down a little bit. Seems to be drilling okay. The fan belt in the David Brown broke, so I'm waiting a new one coming, but we're in between Christmas and New Year, so it might be next year before it comes up. That's it. I have drilled a series of 8 mil holes in this bit of rod. This is the new bracket I'm making for the alternator on the David Brown. It's going to have 3 bolts in it. I'm just going to mill out what's left. They're coming towards me. I want to go a bit faster as well. That's an 8 mil end mill, so should be good. I might do it in 2 passes. Just making a slot so it's adjustable, so you can tighten the fan belt up. I had a bit of angle iron I was using, but I don't like it that much. It's around about 900 RPM. Take up to about 1,000. I'm going to widen it ever so slightly. Oh, sorry. No, we're not right down to the bottom yet. Got it, I think. This is the bit of steel I used to make the bonnet hinge on the Major. What's left of it. I think I've got 2 inches left. Oh, 50 millimetres to equal in metric. Looking good. Right, I'll just need to deburr everything, but that's basically what I was wanting. That's it fitted loosely. I'll have to wait on a new fan belt coming to get it in its proper position. Like I say, that could be 2025. We're just at the end of 2024. Everything's lining up pretty well. I made up that bottom bent bracket yesterday. It's a bit of aluminium actually. So, and that top one's got a slot in it, and the middle one can move in the slot in the aluminium, and the bottom one's just pivots. Fan belt to arrive, and I can put it all back together. So I've got the starter working quite well now as well. Seems to be behaving itself for this week anyway. Knowing this thing, something else will be broken shortly. And a bit more welding to do at the bottom there where that bracket is to hold on the side. I'll get that done, give it a grind up and clean, and get a neat weld in there. Better than what's there, so I've got the bracket off the side now as well. So yeah, it's not perfect, but looks okay. Probably need to paint it poppy to match the poppy orange. The new fan belt arrived. David Brown here. It was 1170 or something. It's a good bit wider than the one that was on, and it's a good bit shorter. So, like everything else in this tractor, they've used something I'd lying about. So I had to alter my bracket a little bit. I had to move from that top hole, make a split down there, but I've just kept the top hole just in case. So that's a proper fan belt for its ribbed teeth as well. So and that little job done, and we're charging the battery as well, so that's good. You will see in the Bridgeport there a big chunk of metal. That is the apron for my Edgwick lathe. What I was doing was boring 3 14mm holes in the side of it to mount a follow rest, which I've got bent. I will show you it later. I took the apron off the lathe, which I couldn't remember how to get it off, so that took a while. I never thought I would have the Bridgeport at its extremes. It is down as low as it can go. It is right over to the right, but you could move it a bit. I could not get a chuck in, I had to use a collet. So, very useful thing at Bridgeport. So the next step is tap all 3 holes. I'm going to tap them 16mm, 2mm. Because a 14mm hole will also give you 5/8 11, but it's easier to get 16mm bolts than 5/8 bolts. Okay, this is actually the first one. M16. Got a centre drill into the bottom there so I can put some pressure on it. I've seen people power tap and cast before, and it's not a good idea. It kind of rips the threads, so I'll just do it by hand. Keep a bit of pressure on it so it keeps everything nice and straight. This is my biggest tap wrench. I think it'll take a bit of power to do this. Me. I'll definitely need a cup of tea after this. You can get spring-loaded things that go in to keep pushing, but I think we'll be alright now. It's started. I've got 3 holes bored exactly 3 inches apart. Pull that crap out there. It's taking a wee bit of effort to move it. me. That's taken out of me. It took quite a few bolts and bits and bobs to get this apron off. The one good thing about hand tapping is you can feel it, if it's going to stick or not. Oof. Clean again. You only have 8mm and 10mm Bridgeport collets, so I couldn't have got that in anyway, I don't think. I've got collets that go in a collet holder, but that would take it away down here somewhere. I don't know any of you watch A-Bomb on YouTube. He's got that power tapping machine. He's got an electric one, an air compressed one and a hydraulic one. The hydraulic one can do 2-inch taps. It's getting a bit stiffer as we go down. I'm not too worried about this forming a crack or anything. There's plenty of meat behind here. Although I did think about welding up the little holes. Let's see. Whew, feeling it now. Take it out and clean it. The good thing about doing this is everything should be dead straight. I'll never check to see if this was sitting parallel. It'll be near enough. Whew. It's taking all my strength to turn that. I think if we get it down to the threads there, we should be good, I think. We're just about there. I think that's at the bottom. I've got a plug tap as well, but I don't know if we'll need it. Try an M16 bolt in and see what happens. It feels like quite a coarse thread. It's cast, so I don't think it would be slick. Let's run this and see how far it goes in. That's about it. If you can afford it and you've got the room for it, you should get yourself a Bridgeport. They do come up for sale fairly often. Even a worn out one's quite good. I've fixed a few things on here. To put it to somebody to do a complete revamp on it, £9,000 to £10,000. I mean, that's scraping ways and everything, decking it and making it like the day it came out of the showroom. I'll run this plug tap down, see if we get a couple more threads. So WD-40 cutting oil. Okay, once we get it started. WD-40 cutting oil. Tool station, Amazon, they sell it. It's about £9 a tub now though. It did go down a bit, but it's going back up again. Right. A few more threads maybe. Might as well get as many as we can. It's cutting well anyway. That's it down. Right. There we go. I know the centres, so when I make the bit that bolts on the side there, it's all 3-inch centres. We'll need to deburr the top there, but I can do that with a battery drill or something. Right, the other two will just be the same, so I'll not film them. Pins aligned, we'll be looking. There's two pins it's got to go into, and it's not having it. They're started. Right. Try and lift that far side. It's actually started into the other one, I think. Just come down a bit. It's too low. You would think it would. That's definitely started on. Needs to go there. Back to me a little. And it's down. What's wrong? Needs to come up onto there. I'm not sure what goes in there. Looking good. Right, let's put so we need to line up that pin in there in that dimple. Okay. That's what it was. I knew there was a reason for that hole, it's to put that split pin in, but it came up okay, so it might go down okay. Maybe just needs a little bit of tappy tappy. I think we did. That's flush, so I think we're good. That's your threading wheel. Right, we need to make a new brake block for in the back here. I've made up this lock block. It goes in the bottom of that hole. I've got an M12 bolt. It is for the carriage lock. Give me a washer in there, really. Give me a washer in there, really. So if you're machining and you don't want it to get pushed that way, you can lock it with this. We shall try it.